In this topic, we are going to study about the various definitions that were given by Kautilya, Alfred Marshall, Lionel Robin in the book of economics. Kautilya's view. Kautilya is a person who is famous from the Maurya dynasty. Maurya dynasty, as we know, is one of the India's richest dynasty. In Maurya dynasty, he played a role of a lot of different persons. He was a statesperson. Statesperson means a person who is very important and is like a politician in the economy. Apart from that, he was an economist, he was a philosopher, means he had huge contributions in the Maurya dynasty. In economics, what did he do? He termed the word Arthashastra. Artha means wealth. Shastra means science. Science of wealth is nothing but the meaning of Arthashastra, that is economics. He explained in his definitions, in his theories, that there should be proper management, creation of wealth for any economy to get developed or to economy to run in a possible proper manner. When Kautilya's research were considered, what were the main important features that were there? Actually, his research was conducted in a very long time ago. So his research was not on a very modern aspect. But even if we consider his economic policies or his plans today, it can be applied even today. Why? Because it was so modern and dynamic. Even in those times, it was very effective and it is also effective now. What were the main key features of his plan? The very first key feature of his plan was that economy, money plays a very crucial role in any government. Basically, if government does not have proper tax collection, proper tax allocation, government cannot function. Therefore, it plays a crucial role in any economy. Apart from that, government should also look after allocation of funds in proper manner. The main policy implementation, the main agenda after making this policy was that the government and the economy should go hand in hand. They should make policies in such a manner that it leads to the development of the government as well as the state. One should focus on creation of wealth. The more the wealth, the more the emperor and the crowd or the place where they live, the empire will be happy. The reason why this was done is, in those days, the kings which were wealthy were actually ruling the other nearby states also of the kings who were not very wealthy. If the king was very wealthy, had a lot of arms and ammunitions, no other king would dare to attack his province. So over there in that days, the mentality was accumulation of wealth. They wanted to accumulate more and more wealth so that the surroundings or the empire could be developed in the most possible manner. Apart from that, effective machinery should be developed. What do you mean by effective machinery? Effective machinery should be developed. By that, I mean that all the resources should be developed in a very effective and in a very arranged and planned manner. So he made a proper machinery for utilization of all the resources, wealth and everything. So Kautilya's research was like to maximize the wealth, channelize the wealth in proper places, importance of money in the political background and proper accumulation of wealth. Apart from that, he aimed at making the best policies so that the revenue could be increased and joint efforts by both the government or the state at that time and the policy making. After that came Adam Smith. Adam Smith is termed as the father of economics because he thought of economics in the year 1776, which is very long back. His definition was wealth oriented. Now, what do you mean by wealth oriented definition? His definition was wealth oriented. It means he actually focused on creation of a lot of wealth. He believed wealthier the nation, happier the nation. But is it true in today's term? No. In today's term, if a person is very rich, is he very happy? The answer is no. Money can't buy happiness. But in those days, yes, because the king, the emperors who had a lot of money could actually keep the people living in the empire happy. So his definition focused more on creation of wealth. He had also written a book in which he explained his definition and explained what is economics to him as an economist. In his definition, he had written his contributions in a book. The book was named as an inquiry on the nature and causes of wealth of nations, which was also termed as wealth of nations. But what was written in his book? The definition of economics. His definition of economics was science of wealth. The definition is very small. The name of the book is bigger than the definition. What is it? Science of wealth. Science means a systematic study of anything. Wealth means anything that has value. A systematic study of anything that has value, that can be sold to earn money or which is bought with money, is nothing but economics. So he said that economics is nothing but the study of anything, of all the things that have value. When he made definitions, there were different key points that were included in this definition. Laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means there is no government control. Government does not have control in the matters of the state. Basically, two different parties were there and both used to take care of different matters. They never intervene in the matters of each other. The second was accumulation of wealth. In those times, as I already said, wealth was the most important thing. Therefore, the main aim of all the kings used to be accumulation of wealth. So he aimed at accumulation of wealth. The next point that was discussed in his definition is nature's law in economic affairs. Basically, nature's law is also very important. We cannot actually do anything without following the natural law of justice. Basically, if I kill anybody and I just move ahead, it is actually a criminal offense. Even if it is not termed as criminal in your legal language, it is criminal as per natural law of justice. Likewise, if I want to do any kind of a business, legal laws and everything did not exist, but it followed natural law in economy or in any matter. Over here, if I speak about this kind of an economy, he believed that all the money that is accumulated should be used in a proper and a manner where more wealth can be generated. Basically, he followed the principles in the way where accumulation of more and more wealth was possible. He did not focus on mental satisfaction or other aspects of the economy. His main focus was accumulation of more and more wealth. Apart from that, he termed the people who are working or the laborers or the employees as the people who are contributing to the generation of wealth. His main agenda behind this definition was that this labor force that is there is important, vital in actually multiplying the wealth that they have. So in all, if we want to take a bird eye view of the definition that is given by Adam Smith, it was only about a generation of wealth. His definition was therefore termed as the definition that is wealth oriented. But the key word to remember for fill in the blanks is Adam Smith is called as the father of economics. The definition given by him is the science of wealth. The next economics that we are going to deal with is Alfred Marshall. Alfred Marshall is a person who is concerned with the welfare-oriented definition. He thought about the welfare of the people in the society. Alfred Marshall gave his definition in the year 1890. He gave his definition in the book Principles of Economics. Basically, he was concerned about the welfare of the people living in the empire, about the things that were missed by Adam Smith were covered by Alfred Marshall. Adam Smith was just concerned behind wealth accumulation, management, on all of these things, but he did not think about the welfare of the people. He made the definition in a social way. He was therefore considered as a neoclassical economist. Neoclassical means he had modern thoughts, modern way of thinking. Basically, his definition also focused more on the social aspect. His definition in key words was, economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. That means he is telling that economy is nothing but the study of people. When they are doing the day-to-day business, when they are doing the day-to-day activities which involve economics, it is nothing different. It is the social behavior. It is the way a person thinks. He actually was more focused on people. He actually took the concept of social science very seriously. Key features of his definition was that economics is concerned with an ordinary man. It is not with a king or somebody who is already an economics. It is with an ordinary man. It is the way an ordinary man would think. It is about materialistic things which will actually help in the welfare of a person. When I speak about the definition given by Alfred Marshall in the book Principles of Economics, he was not very clear about how the welfare would be done, because if there is no wealth in the economy, welfare also can't be done on a larger scale. But in normal sense, his definition was to actually provide welfare rather than just running behind money. His main aim was mental satisfaction rather than just going behind the goods that were necessary. He said economics is a behavioral science. By behavioral science, I mean that it differs with person to person. It is not constant for everybody. Like I said in the previous module, 1000 rupees given to you and 1000 rupees given to me, the use made by both of us would be comparatively very different. Not only that, he said that it differs from a person to person. Not every person channelizes the money, the resources that are given to him in the same manner. So it is not materialistic. And he always said one thing, economics is not only about generation of wealth. It involves a lot of different concepts. The mental satisfaction, mental happiness that is provided by the employee also is very important in the definition of economics. So his definition was always behind the welfare of the people living in an economy. The next one we are going to study is about Lionel Robbins. Lionel Robbins gave his definition in the year 1932. The definition given by Lionel Robbins was scarcity oriented. He told that always the wants that are there in the individuals, they are unlimited. But the resources to earn those wants are limited. Basically, as I told you, I give you 1000 rupees. There are different things you want to do, but the amount of money is just rupees 1000. So over here, the way you use this 1000 rupees is nothing but the way you channelize your resources. What do I mean by this? The wants that we have, the uses that we want to make from 1000 rupees, they are unlimited. But the money is limited, that is 1000 rupees. The definition is relating to scarcity, the less amount of resources that we have, and how we use the least amount of resources to have a maximum output. He had written the definition in the book An Essay on Nature and Significance of Economic Science. This is the name of the book that was written by Mr. Lionel Robbins. Lionel Robbins had given a definition. What does the definition signify? Lionel Robbins defined economics as a science which studies human behavior. Human behavior means the behavior that is proclaimed, that is shown by human. Lionel Robbins defined economics as a science which studies human behavior. Science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means. Ends and scarce means. Ends means unlimited wants that we have. Scarce means the limited resources that we have, which have alternative uses. In basic sense, He means it is the study how a human being uses the limited resources that he has, which have a lot of alternative uses, to achieve his goal. In simple words, you had those 1,000 rupees. You could do a lot of different things from those 1,000 rupees, but you do one thing from that 1,000 rupees. How you are choosing to do that one thing is nothing but the definition of economics as per Lionel Robbins. He studies a human behavior when a person uses the limited resources which have alternative uses to achieve one goal. He told that definition that is given by him, in that he told the wants that a person has is unlimited. Even if one want is satisfied, we will have 10 different wants after that. But the resources that we have are limited. There is no ample amount of resources that we have, they are very limited. Now, how we deal with this limited resources and unlimited wants is nothing but economics. In this, he turned this definition and he explained to us that how we use those resources and earn the maximum amount of satisfaction from these resources. Basically, these definitions are different viewpoints of different people. They are right at some given point of time. Every definition teaches us something in a something very different manner. Like Kautilya's definition was used in those times. His definition actually taught us about how the state and the policy makers should work hand in hand, and how economy, how the money is important in the state's development. But Adam Smith, on the other place, was concerned with the accumulation of wealth. He did not focus on the mental aspect of people. His main aim was only accumulating wealth, expanding the wealth. But in the next part, Alfred Marshall was more concerned about people's satisfaction, the welfare of the people. But in the next part, Lionel Robbins, he did not focus about how the wealth is generated. He was more focused on the use of the wealth. He told when the wealth is limited to a certain point, how a human being deals with it, how the human being actually channelizes the resources when he has very limited amount of the resources. Therefore, when we speak about Adam Smith, his definition was called as wealth-oriented definition. But at the same time, Alfred Marshall's definition was welfare-oriented and Lionel Robbins' definition was scarcity-oriented definition. We understand viewpoint of different economics in different ways by reading these definitions. Also, these definitions form a very important part in your answers. Thank you.